Hello, Anointed Ones, and welcome back to Anointed TV. We have breaking news today. It's a moment of truth, of courage, and of exposing what has been hidden for too long. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen McKinney, the youngest daughter of Drenda and Gary Kesey, has come forward with allegations that demand our attention. She is blowing the whistle on SA within her own family and the church, and what she reveals is deeply disturbing. Drenda and Gary Kesey are prominent Daystar programmers and close associates of Joni Lamb. Joni Lamb said Drenda was one of the people who encouraged her to marry Doug Weiss. They have continued to air their show on Daystar TV and kept silent on the accusations against Joni Lamb by her son Jonathan Lamb of covering the SA of his daughter. Recently, Drenda spoke about the Daystar saga when one of her followers asked her if she was going to pause her relationship with the network. The situation grieves our hearts, as we know it is ultimately the enemy's strategy to kill, steal, and destroy. Daystar has impacted many lives with the gospel for several years. The Lamb family and Daystar Television Network are in our prayers for God's wisdom, reconciliation, and healing. We ask you to join us in praying that the gospel will continue to be proclaimed and souls saved, she responded. Now, Kristen McKinney Kesey has broken her silence, revealing that she was a victim of SA within her own family. And worse, she's now witnessing a systematic cover-up, one that extends beyond her family and into the very fabric of the church establishment. This isn't just about one case. This is about patterns. This is about a culture that has enabled abuse and then silenced the victims. Here's what Kristen stated in her own words. "I have remained silent under legal counsel's advice, but due to recent developments, I feel it is time to share my experience. Many are aware of allegations involving a family member. I was a victim, and when I learned of ongoing concerns for others' safety in combination with others' stories, I already knew I felt a responsibility to step forward. A private police investigation has been working on this case alongside other victims. When the case was being escalated from our local police detectives to the Ohio Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI, I decided to go on record, and my information was sent in as a victim for an official interview. The agency initially indicated they would assign a detective immediately and coordinated with the police department to get my name and information. However, shortly after my information was submitted, I was informed that the BCI said they would not get involved with the case. No explanation was provided, and I was not given an opportunity to meet with anyone or share my account. Given the facts of this case, I find it deeply concerning that the BCI is unwilling to hear from first-hand victims, despite law enforcement confirming there was sufficient evidence to proceed without my story. I also cannot ignore that my mother has a close political relationship with Attorney General Dave Yost. I do not know if this has had any impact on the decision, but it raises serious questions about the fairness and transparency of the process. Many individuals in law enforcement and government positions have also expressed confusion and frustration over why this case is not moving forward. A close friend in law enforcement told me the case is being blocked due to conflict of interest. This is the second attempt to have this case placed that has been blocked due to an alleged conflict of interest. They will now attempt to move it to a third location, but there are concerns this might be a repeat pattern. I do not wish to create division, but I strongly believe every victim deserves the opportunity to have their voice heard in court if they choose to do so. If you share this belief, I encourage you to contact Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost at 800-282-0515 and ask why this case is not being pursued and ask that it be placed immediately. Why is the BCI declining to hear directly from victims, despite local law enforcement confirming there is evidence to move forward? Seeking answers is not about presuming guilt. It is about ensuring a fair and just system where victims have the chance to be heard. Note: the case number is SP2-402-390 if you need it. Kristen is not alone. Multiple victims have spoken out, and a police investigation has been underway. But something highly suspicious has happened. According to Kristen, she reported her abuse and provided information to law enforcement. Her case was being escalated to the Ohio Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigations, BCI. This is standard procedure for cases that require deeper scrutiny. And yet, almost immediately after her information was submitted, The BCI refused to get involved. No explanation. No opportunity for her to share her account. They shut the case down. She suspects her mother, Drenda Kesey, close political relationship with Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, could be the reason the case has stalled. Let that sink in. A personal connection between the accused's family and the highest legal authority in the state, and suddenly, an entire case is blocked? This raises serious questions about fairness, transparency, and how deep this corruption goes. This isn't just about one case. This is about a pattern of power protecting predators inside the church, inside law enforcement, inside the justice system itself. This is not just an isolated case. If you've been paying attention, you know that Joni Lamb herself has been accused of covering up sexual abuse, this time by her own son, Jonathan Lamb. What does this tell us? It tells us that there is a culture of silence and complicity, where the victims are ignored, where the abusers are protected, where the powerful remain untouched while the weak suffer. If you believe in justice, if you believe in protecting the innocent, then do not sit back and watch this happen. Kristen is now urging people to demand accountability. If you believe victims deserve a voice, here's what you can do. Call Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost at 1-800-282-0515 and demand answers. Why is this case not moving forward? Why is the BCI refusing to hear directly from victims? Case number SP24-2390. When you call, reference this case number and ask why it is not being pursued. We cannot let another predator walk free because of political connections and wealth. Enough is enough. This is not about vengeance. This is about righteousness. This is about standing up for those who have been harmed. Those who cover up abuse are just as guilty as those who commit it. To those in the church who have been complicit, you will be held accountable. To those who have covered sin, your time is up. So for every viewer today, do not be silent. Use your voice. Spread this message. Let justice be done. And to Kristen McKinney, your courage is anointed, and we stand with you. May God expose every hidden work of darkness. May His justice prevail, and may we, His people, never stop fighting for truth. Until next time, anointed ones, stay vigilant, stay strong, and most importantly, stay faithful.